With all the different art supplies available, it can get pretty difficult to find out which one to get. It's all good though, because I'm going to be giving you over 30 of the best art supplies that you can currently get. And there's a lot to choose from. You definitely don't want to skip around, because I might be talking about a marker that needs a specific notebook or paper. You might miss it, so watch the video all the way through. Let's get it. Alright, so the first category is actually going to be paint and brushes. So first on the list, I got Posca markers. I've been using those for about 3 years now. They're so good. I love them. I use them in almost all my videos. I definitely recommend those. I've done so many pieces of art with them. I'll show some on the screen right now. They're just amazing. I totally recommend them. For number 2, I got Tombow markers. Those are like a water-based marker. Those are really good too. I have those. I've used them. Highly recommend them. For number 3, I have the Ohuhu water-based markers. Those are also really good. Anything by Ohuhu is just really good quality and good product, and I recommend that too. Number 4, we got Sharpie paint pens. These are more like of a budget Posca marker, because I know that Posca markers can be kind of expensive. Those are also really good alternative. For number 5, we got the Garby watercolor set. That's for anybody who wants to try it. It's definitely a fun medium to try. At number 6, we got the Art Story brushes. That's a good paintbrush for acrylic paints and also for watercolors. Number 7, we got the Transin brushes. Those are like the Art Story. They're also really good. Alright, next up we got the alcohol markers. Number 8, Copic markers, of course. The brush tip ones though. Copic is really just the best. They're pretty expensive though. They're like $5 a marker, which I know that is pretty expensive. I don't have any yet, but I highly recommend them. I know artists who use them. Highly recommend those. And then Ohuhu marker brush tip. I have those and they're really good. They're like second to Copic markers. Again, get the brush tip, because almost like a pen point tip. It's just not as smooth. Coloring with it for blending doesn't work well. Those are probably the 2 best that you can get. Some cheaper alternatives are Vigor Fun brush and chisel. Those are also solid alternative. I think they're probably under $1 a marker. At number 11, we got the ZSCM brush tip. Those are also like an alternative to the first 2. Alright, for the pens category, at number 12, I have Faber-Castell black pens. These are so good. These are so good. I use these in basically all my drawings. Anyone that I'm using alcohol markers, they just really pair well together. And then for 13, I have Faber-Castell colored fine liners. If you want to add some extra detail and make it look more 3D-ish, that's definitely something you can go for. At 14, we got the Sakura Pigma Micron pens in black. That's what I used before I got the Faber-Castell black pens. Those are really solid too. I use them the same way. I just use my Faber-Castell now. It's really good. So number 15, the Sakura Pigma Micron pens, but the colored set. I just think it makes it look more 3D and pretty sick. At number 16, the Micron fine liner pens. Those are really good as well, just for the really small areas where you want to add some extra detail. Next section, we have sketchbooks. Now the sketchbook section is actually probably the most important section, because if you're buying a certain marker or paint or something, you definitely want to know the right sketchbook to get with it. So number 17, there's just any Ohuhu sketchbook. There's ones that are mixed media, there's ones that are watercolor, there's ones that are, and I'll mention these later, but Ohuhu sketchbooks are just really good too. At number 18, I got Canon mixed media. I use that in basically all my drawings, especially since I use Posca markers. Those go really well with Posca markers, with watercolor. They're not as great with alcohol markers, but they're still pretty decent with it. At number 19, we got the Ohuhu art pads. This is definitely a solid one for the alcohol markers, because it's just the paper is still thick but a little bit thinner and less grainy, so you can get a lot more smooth lines on that. Now for a paper, if you want to draw on paper, I'd say get cardstock. It's good if you're trying to do like an alcohol marker drawing. I like to hang up my art in a frame. For 21, we got the Strathmore sketchbook. I think it's pretty cheap on Amazon too right now, so Definitely go check that one out. And you got the Strathmore Sketch Paper Pad, which is pretty much the same thing. I think it's a little thinner paper. That's a solid one as well. Then we got the Happy Color watercolor pad. It should work with acrylic paint, but I think it's probably just best to use it for watercolor for the best results. And then at 24, we got the Tumarta watercolor journal. That's a smaller journal, which is like, I've seen people go and they'll like nature journal with it. I think that's actually a pretty cool thing to start doing. All right, the next category is actually like kind of a random category, but just a bunch of stuff that I know most artists would like. So first off, an iPad and an Apple Pencil to just do digital art too. I know that a lot of artists like to do that as well, and some people that's even their main way of drawing too. So for the next item, it's just really any little like holder for markers or stuff, or like something that they could sort their markers like by color or however they want to, but just kind of like a holder or container for them. The next thing would be, at least I know I like to have a nice lamp, one that you can maybe adjust the brightness to. The next category is actually what you should do right now. It's actually to like and subscribe and comment the present emoji, so I know that you made it this far in the video. Thank you for watching. Bye.